Okay, all right. This is exciting. Guys, we are live. I'm so honored, so privileged, unbelievably privileged to be interviewing my business partner, Rachel Castille. It's been quite a journey.
Yes,
I've
it
known
has.
her since before our business together, and I actually met her through her husband, finding him on YouTube, just some awesome content about spirituality, about digging deeper into sonship and mysticism and how to actually hear the voice of God, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I am just so honored. Rachel, do you have it shared on your page? Just making
I
sure.
do just now. Yeah, I just clicked it
Perfect.
over.
Perfect. All right. All right. Well, I just want to know, Rachel. Because I know you've been in different businesses in the
Yeah,
past
yeah,
and you've had different interests. You felt a pull and a tug towards different markets, different niches, but I know you found something better, obviously, because you're already, spoilers, making 10K a month.
yes.
Boom. And why don't you tell me, Rachel, first of all, how did you actually find legacy leaders? How did you find the business? What were you doing beforehand? What was your life like before
Yeah.
joining this business?
So I found legacy leaders, honestly, last November. But I found the company before Leaders even was birthed. So I found it like the end of October. And I
Mhm.
was an Uber driver. I've been doing that for like the past 2 years. And I was also feeling this burn in my heart for online business. I also knew that God had talked to Nelson and I like shortly after we got married, like 3.5 years ago, that we were moving to Kenya. So like I'm seeing this timeline stuff of like, okay, God, I know I'm going to end up online. What is the business for me? And I started kind of business shopping. And to be honest, like it was a learning experience, but I could have waited on God. I feel like I heard it and then I just like took off running like shopping for like a year. And I
Yeah.
did learn a lot. I company hopped like 3 different businesses that were like, 2 were gold and silver industry. One was like supplements, a membership. And at that point, this is like the end of 2023, I think, going into 2024, I started joining network marketing businesses while
Mhm.
driving Uber. And I also it started a coaching business. I love personality types. That's like a 10-year passion. That when I started my Ubering, I also got certified in a personality system called the Enneagram. And so I was doing coaching and typing on the side, but primarily like Uber driving. And then I
Mhm.
got this itch for online business again. And honestly, I learned a lot. Like over that year, I started prospecting. I started like letting my heart get used to business and reaching out with something that I believe in. And yeah, just the journey of sales, the journey of like online branding and all of that. So I was already like kind of working that muscle, but I guess after like a year of doing that, I started in one company and then shifted into the gold and silver space. And after seeing that I shouldn't have company hopped, like I was comparing businesses, I'd find something about it that just didn't sit right with me. I'm like, this isn't really going to create financial freedom for people. It's certain like
Mhm.
criteria I know in my heart that I maybe couldn't put into words, but like I'd buy into a vision, and then I'd start to see the more I shared it, people would join me, and then things would come up and they're like, hey, have you seen this about the company? Or just different
Mhm.
things that I'm like, I'm looking at all the effort I'm putting in. Like I'm reaching out to 20 people a day or just all of this. Like I'm tracking my numbers and I'm just like, okay, I made a sale and I made $5. Like
Not worth it.
not worth my time.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
but I love the network marketing like industry, the vision, just the vehicle of team building. I know the real freedom and personal growth that comes from walking this journey. So it didn't like deter me at all from network marketing. I'm just like, okay, this isn't it. And still I was almost embarrassed because like I tell my whole like network, everybody knows what I'm doing. Then I changed to another company and then I changed to another one. And then I was just feeling like, God, did I miss it? Was it the first one? So I went back to it shortly before I found this company, before I found Enagic. And this is like September, like August, September, literally a year ago is when I went back to that first like supplement company. And I also felt to go to an event in Orlando by Ray Higdon. And he's a coach in the network marketing space. So I'd already bought my ticket to go to that. I was in this other company. And then I feel God nudge me. I see an interview just like this on my timeline. And I'm like, okay, interesting. I feel like I just unconsciously saw another interview maybe a week or two before. And I felt that nudge, like, no, don't look away. Actually look at it. I'm like, God, but I'm already doing this. Like I'm committed, you know, I don't want to be looking around. And I just felt like, no, you need to see this. And I feel like God was just telling me, like, open up. Maybe you could work with like more support than just like this Lone Ranger thing I've been in business, you know? So it was this like knowing of, no, take a look at this community building, this whole like interview style, seeing people building their businesses together. And I saw honestly, the social proof of that, of all the different stories. I went from one interview to another interview to another interview. And I started to see so many people in the team that were building and having success that I felt to reach out to see a masterclass. And this is like the very end of September. I think I watched my very first masterclass. And looking back on it, like God has brought me a long way for alignment, provision, everything to start this business. But at that time, I watched that masterclass and I just knew this is it. Like on every level, the product. First off, I had actually seen this product when I was like a teenager.
Oh, wow.
Someone shared with my mom like a CD that we put in the computer, and we watched about Kangen water. So I always like believed in it. Like I knew it was really good, but it never showed up on my radar ever again. So it was a surprise to know once I watched the masterclass, I'm like, oh, it's this company. I didn't even know the name of the company back then. And also just hearing the stories, it was a like bring on the husbands type of masterclass where it was couples sitting there telling their stories. And it was amazing. That's when I first saw Kelsey Little and her husband, Matthew. And they really stood out to me, and Kendra Adams too. Like I loved hearing her story, her and Daniel. And from there, I tried to join. I was like, okay, I prayed about it. And that was one thing my husband, he emphasized. It's like, okay, Rachel, I've seen you company hop. I've seen you say, I think this is God.
Yeah, actually, just to jump in, I noticed that too, because I remember you offering me, because I was looking for business too.
Yeah.
I failed business like 3 different times, and I was just like 14 months ago, I was waiting and waiting for an opportunity. And I was telling you about it one day, and I noticed that you were in the silver, you were in the supplements, and I knew, like, you know, you were on a journey finding what works best for your values. And I really appreciate that, that you offered me those opportunities as well. But I knew intrinsically, I knew deep down instinctively that there's something better for the both of us. And continue on.
That's interesting. Yeah, looking back on it, I did share those businesses, and it's cool. Honestly, that was a very revealing year. The fact that I did put myself out there, I was like sharing my journey with my friends. And I remember you booked an Enneagram session with me way back then. So like we talked about business and music. And then I felt like I went in this like journey of almost like God breaking me down so that I could come into alignment fully. And we didn't talk too much from like maybe me sharing one of those businesses up until like the Typology Corner stuff taken off for me again. And just was awesome. But yeah, in that time, like I felt God just initially like showing me to slow down and to actually hear. And that was it was humbling when I first came across this company, because I had this knowing like, oh my God, like I was settling all this time. This is it, you know? But then I went to talk to my husband, and he wasn't discouraging. He was just like, Rachel, okay, did you ask God? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I did. He's like, no, really go, like, no, for sure. And I was like, okay. And I slowed down
Mm.
and I really waited and I got a word. And one thing I love about him, he never told me what God told him for like maybe a month or two. God told him, he asked God and God was like, yes, that's the business for her. Being
Yeah.
fun.
I want to know what God told you, if you can go into that, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty simplistic. I remember just waiting and
Mm-hmm.
I got a real, like, a knowing of yes, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. Like this sense where I could weather anything
Mm-hmm.
that came after it.
Amazing.
Like it's gonna be a
Wow.
journey, but this really is it. And I was like, I don't have the money financially. We really used up all our savings on other endeavors, like my coaching to get certified. Like I dropped everything I had pretty much, and I was like, okay, God, I got that clear word, and then from there, and that surety in me, I was just like, okay, God, well, where's the money? Like, do we go try to get a loan? That was the first thing we did. I applied for a loan with my bank. He applied for one from his, and we have a decent credit score, but we just haven't really had much open, accounts and stuff. So banks weren't wanting to take a chance on that size of loan. So I was like, okay, God, you told me this is it. What's next? And I felt a family's name drop into my heart. I was like, okay. And it turns out Nelson, he'd actually heard, he was like, God told him that's a part of my journey. Like he knew that wouldn't actually pan out, but it actually was God telling me to do that. And I feel like God was bringing me to a place of like having closure with all these different seasons in my life and me beginning to embrace the vision, what God always put in me, and to speak that and to not have any shame. I feel like God was breaking shame off of me. As I began to just be honest before people that it's like, this is my path, and embracing that. And I would say even a big part of my calling is to embrace network marketing specifically. There's a lot of stuff that's been sitting on it, a lot of people speaking against it. And I've just known like, no, this is a blessing. And that was part of me just like not wanting approval, not wanting validation, but like I've heard from God. And me knowing that. So that ended up being a no after a few weeks. And then I asked about like another person, and there was another person that dropped in my heart that turned into like a 3-month refinement season, I'll call it, of like might get a loan, might not, but God was just breaking a lot in me. And in the end, that was a no too. But what it got me in the space of I was sharing with different friends, and a really good friend of mine, I shared with her about it. And she mentioned at some point that the idea of like, hey, my 401k, maybe if this is my path one day, maybe I could use it. Just hearing her say that about herself. And she would check in with me periodically. And once that came to a no, I felt to reach out to her to ask her, like, would you be willing to give me a loan off of your 401k? And this is like January now. So I find it like October. By January, I'm like, okay, I'm back at square one. And I call her. She's like, yes, I will. Or like, I'm willing to. But I have a loan that isn't done until the summer. So I need to finish paying that one off that she had previously taken out on her 401k. And I'm like, okay, I'm grateful. But then I'm like, okay, do I wait? Is that the plan, God? Like, do I wait another 6 months?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I know that this is for me. And looking back on it, I'm like, God, was it just for my refinement, or did I miss an appointment, or did something not come through? But what I saw, it was like a birthing. Like when I look at the time, it literally was 9 months from hearing from God and then starting. And I reach out to another person, a couple weeks, that turns into a no. I reach out to another person, turns into a no after about a couple weeks or a month. And at that point, I just surrendered it. It's maybe March at that time. And I felt like, even my husband was telling me, he's like, Rachel, like, you're bogged down. Like this is kind of, you need to let this go and just trust God. He even got a word about it. He told me that God he actually talked to Mother, Holy Spirit had told him like, yes, there's a delay, but it's coming. That was a word he got maybe February, March-ish. And yeah, so around that time, I then felt like to get out of the funk and start sharing my voice again, nonetheless. Like, I put my energy into Typology Corner, and I really felt that, like, start building Typology Corner. I started redoing the brand. I started really putting my heart into it, redid my website. And around that same time, you started sharing with Devney, Kiana, about like Typology Corner, and like, hey, y'all ought to go get typed. And like, that's whenever like all three of y'all came back, like, well, you did, and then they came into my life. And that started to honestly break down the walls where I felt defined by whether I was in the business or not, whether I was producing or not. Like, God began to show a lot in my heart that, can I just be an Uber driver for a while? Can I just be a friend? Can I just let people support me? That was a big thing. The walls coming down. Just y'all's actual support around what I was building, even with Typology Corner, like having friendships where I'm not, that was a whole revelation then. Don't do it alone. Like, yeah, like God began to open that up. And then organically, like, that's how, just from a friendship, I wind up in you reaching out to me maybe May or something, just talking about like, hey, what's been your process with God around like career or business? How have you gotten clarity? And how what God's showing me that it's really about the relationships, you know? It's just the friendships, the alignments. Are you going to let people in your life that God is bringing into your life? I even say about you, like, you always felt like a brother to me back then, but God was like, are you going to receive a brother? Will you let a brother in your life? Will you actually like live your life before, like, will you trust people with you? I think that's what God was telling me. Like, will you trust your vision, your future, where you're going, what you're passionate about? Will you let people speak life into it? That's what started to break open, like March, April, May, just in our friendships. And yeah, so that leading up to sharing it with you, like May-ish. And I do remember like that you were on a sabbatical, that you were business oriented, but I also felt, I was like, I'm still waiting on this myself. And I was just like, you know what? I felt that nudge of like, share it. It might be relevant to him. Like, it might actually be a part of his path. And,
and I'm so happy that you did, because I've made my first 10K month this month.
yes,
we both have.
both
So
did.
no, pat on the back to you too. Yeah. It's like, actually, how does that feel, earning that? And I know, like, tell me this, like, I know it's not about making the money, but we need to make the finances to build our individual kingdoms. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, and then we can, after we talk about that, tell me like about your wins.
Okay. So about finances and like our kingdom assignments and stuff, like, I'm seeing what was being birthed in me is my purpose would chase me down. Like, I'm sitting here all contained and keeping everything in, not telling people what I see, just as a prophet too. Like, my business is so interwoven with that. It has to do with awakening people's identities and destinies and stuff. And so I'm seeing God like call me into my calling. And it is so interconnected with business that there's things on my heart that I am assigned to shift in the world. Part of that is individuals' lives, like partnering together, how this collaboration, like our lives are changing from the collective experience. But beyond that, we need abundance for shifting things. You know, there's a reason certain things are on your heart. There's certain things that grieve you because you're a part of the shifting of it. Eradicating poverty, or, you know, whatever, abuse, or different things you want to invest into. Like, it takes finances to actually change things. And so this sense of being strapped down to a job that's not your calling, bless you if your job is your calling, and there are people who are absolutely in alignment. But for me, I knew there came a point that God put me in Ubering to start to train me a muscle in me of expansion, of socializing, of meeting new people, of getting out of my comfort zone, all that stuff. it was leading me somewhere to begin to transition me out of this serving someone else's vision, giving all my time to something else that has nothing to do with who I am or the impact I'm supposed to have. It's like chaining my voice, chaining my time down. And that in general, like my desire in my heart is that I have what I need to do my calling. That's what I want. I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to be working a job where I don't have the time to do my calling. And I want the finances that all my needs are met. Therefore, I don't have to look at my stuff. I'm just like, I can go buy what I need. I have everything I need. And then my abundance, I can just pour it right into whatever I'm seeing. And so it honestly, there's no future for me that I don't have wealth. You know what I mean? I've got too much to do.
You have to believe it. Like people, they think, like I was talking to somebody in the DMs and I shared it with you. I was sharing about the business, about the earnings potential. And he was like, I don't want to make that kind of money, is what he said. And it's just people, they don't think it's possible. And they don't really, he didn't even give me a chance to talk about the benefits of what we're offering. But I love what you said. Like, there's no future where you aren't wealthy. And the cool thing is you are supposed to be a lender and not a borrower. And you told me that today in our accountability powwow or meeting. And it was just like a really awesome reminder. I actually added that to my post. But why don't you tell me, I had one question. I definitely want to know about your biggest transformation in this business. And then just hone in really quick before that. You mentioned you really want to be that voice for people, for your audience, because every single day I know you have a message to share for them, and it's tailored for your community. And that's something that you have a really big advantage in this business, where other people, they might be throwing spaghetti against the wall, flying off the seat of their pants, but you have so much counsel, so much grace to speak into people's hearts, where you know what they need. I would say to a degree, like when you really tap in, I've seen that, I've witnessed that for myself. Why don't you share about what exactly are you offering for your people? Like, what do you want to give?
Man, I want to give everything God has taught me. And I'm learning every day. So I have endless content.
True.
There's literally, God is showing me loving myself is sharing myself.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the best thing I can do, is show up and give myself to my audience, because I know how bound I was my whole life. And I'm not anymore.
Wow.
And there's more though. I'm getting free every day. So like if I see through something and I get free from it, I'm like, here's the lie I believed, and here's how to get out of it. So I have a strong heart for healing, for deliverance, for people being able to occupy their soul and get free from comparison and come into the knowledge of the value of their voice. Like, my voice was so trapped up my whole life, I'd be short of breath just to sit at the table and talk to people. I'd be like, get some more air just in the middle of, how are you doing? You know? And I know what that is. So I have a lot of compassion for how much an identity can be so lost that they don't even know how to find it, you know? And I know it's so important for people to know the value of their voice, their experiences, the things they've been through. And I am seeing more and more that success in sales is being you. It's literally that willingness to take from what you are, from what you carry, and to package it in a way that it's of value to your audience. And so that's what I want to do. I want to demonstrate that I want to live that out, that other people know that's all they need to do. They don't need to be me. They just need to be that for themselves and share something you believe in. And that meant a lot to me, to find what I believe in. And that's why I'm so glad. Honestly, I don't think people need to wait 9 months like I did to join, but I've vetted this on every level. I went through the fire and didn't get deterred off of what God told me. So from that, yeah, I so believe in the products. I so believe that this compensation plan is literally better than, if you are a business-minded person whatsoever, this is a forever asset along anything else that you do. And that's something I can peacefully, restfully, confidently, boldly, directly, all those things all at once share. Like, and I feel like you need all of those things in this journey, as we've learned. Like you walk through a lot, the faith, to build, to be a pioneer, you know. So the biggest win or the biggest growth has been just the personal development that comes from being a message, continuing in the vision, knowing what you've seen and not being shaken, and remembering to rest, remembering to see and to believe and to speak from that place. And anytime I get overwhelmed or anxious or have some idea of lack, I remember, no, I won't let that drive me. Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge for me too. And having our accountability meetings have been super helpful for me too, Rachel. Just knowing that, wow, if I feel anxious about anything, I need to take a step back and just remember why I'm doing this. Remember just to get the message from the seven spirits or from Holy Spirit. And because if I'm not in rest, then everything I do is coming from a place where I'm striving. And that is probably my biggest journey in this business as well. Not just making the 5 figures, but we're always shifting in our character. We're always chipping away, you know, the rough edges and smoothing out and becoming, really embodying who we are meant to be as sons of God, where we are already perfect and we're just walking out, you know, our blueprint, what needs to be done. And that's a question that, like, I personally have been asking God, like, what needs to be done? Like, what else? You know, because now I've been in this business for almost 2 months, and it's so important to regularly check up with God and ask, okay, what else needs to be done? And that's why I love being your business partner, Rachel, because you are embodying that, and you are such a great example for not just me, but for my business partners and for everybody in the Foundry. Like, they're seeing something's different. And like, it's not just to like elevate you on a pedestal. Like, I'm really just saying, like, there's a reason why you and I are making sales. And I don't believe it's just right place and right time. I think we're embodying heavenly wealth. Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I'm not trying to toot our own horn.
I love that. No,
you know?
There is something to it. I feel like I'm getting more and more revelation about it every day, that it's when you're resting in the actual assignment and vision that God gives you, it's vision for other people. It's not just for me. So we do carry faith for other people that actually unlocks a future for them that they didn't know or they didn't see. So we're activating something. And I think that's what it's all about. It's that journey of belief. Both the belief in the company, in the product, but the belief in them. Can I succeed at this?
Yeah.
And that's so important. And I feel like the place we're living from is activating people. It's that patience, it's that rest, and you're gonna see it. And we're not in a hurry for you to see it. You know, and God has a timing that is right for you. And we're not here to push you. Either this is for you or it's not. And
Wow.
I think there's something to that, that I'm feeling guided into. I feel like it's a daily like reminder from God. This is where I want you to live from. This is where I want you to build from.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to leave your identity to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. People can be successful just with belief. And yeah, you already answered my next question was like, do you think anybody can do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I highly respect people where they do keep their 9 to 5s where, you know, it's really meaningful for them. And I know you and I we're built differently. We decided, you know what, we want to be entrepreneurs, we want to be network marketers,
Mm-hmm.
and to really help our team, to really care for people, because that's what it's all about in my mind. I can see that we're
Mm-hmm.
caring for people, we're igniting their message. And I want to actually plug Firestarters right now, Rachel. Yeah, so Rachel has an incredible community called Firestarters on Discord, and I'll probably link it into the first comment or in the comment section. But yeah, it's a place where it's her container where she is sharing her voice notes, her Rachel drops, and they're incredible. I need to listen to more of them, honestly. But it's a really safe space where it's where she can just shine and give more revelation. Like you guys are already getting so much value from her own community, but yeah, and it's a cool thing because Kelsey has her own community as well, and Kelsey is just super thrilled, and she wants everybody who wants to build their communities to do so. And I'm very proud of you, Rachel, that you've done that, that I've been a
Thank
part of
you.
that. And then I want to actually ask you, what has been, let's see. Yeah, what's been like the biggest takeaway so far from this business? And then I think we're gonna wrap up soon. But yeah,
Okay.
biggest takeaway.
So one clarification real quick. I just want to say thank you for bringing up Firestarters.
Yeah.
My heart around that is a support to stir that flame in each of y'all. And I also want to talk about Kelsey too. Kelsey,
Mhm.
huge part of even me birthing this is because of the type of person that she is. I struggled. I talked to you about it with the idea of doing it. I'm like, I don't want this to imply that like I'm creating my team and I'm breaking, you know, you're like, no, Rachel, you got to be obedient to what you're seeing. And
Yeah.
then I talked to her about it and she just like fanned the flame of like, go for it, you know? And it just started the best conversation of like, that's what true leadership is wanting your people to lead. And
Mhm.
yeah, so it's beautiful to be in a space where I'm discovering what my leadership is and I'm able to birth that and I'm seeing it evolve and it's becoming something. And now
Mhm.
I'm having a weekly like team meeting now that I see like that's in flow. And yeah, it's just really beautiful. And also I'll plug RC Fellowship. So my heart for Firestarters, that's my community for people that start in business with us.
Mhm.
So when you join, you're going to have that community. You're going to have the foundry. You're going to have legacy leaders. Like there's just so much that's in this space, so much support. And yeah, so, but also RC Fellowship is my free space. It's another Discord server that it's just a place to fellowship and connect. Like that's where I got to connect with y'all more. My husband has his server, Cave of
Mhm.
Mystery. So yeah, if you just want a place to fellowship, a place to connect with other people, to be heard, to heal from just life and other people to connect with, that's what we're here for, and that's what Firestarters is. My revelation of me, like I'm a type 2 Enneagram. I'm like, I'm a helper, I'm a supporter. That's like what I want to just create a space that people can blossom in, and those are both spaces for that. So
Mhm.
yeah, and I'll also say rachelcastille.com. That's where you can find all my stuff, so
Yeah.
head there. uh
You're
even
everywhere now.
yeah, all over. But
Yeah.
So my biggest takeaway, what was the question?
Biggest takeaway or transformation, and then what would you say to people on the fence about joining this business also? Yeah.
And I'll tie that to the question you asked earlier too. Can anybody do this?
Yeah.
The truth is, yes, you can. Anybody can. It might not be everybody's path to be a full-time network marketer, but everybody should have this in their house. Everybody should be drinking Kangen water. And there's no extra cost to do this as a business. It's a one-time investment, and you make commissions. When somebody is in your house, tries the water, like, man, I need to get one of these, and you can make a commission. So I believe it really is for everybody. Your path looks different. And I feel like you were saying, this is us. This is our path to be full-time, but it's really, we're full-time to serve different types of people with different visions. So there is a place here for everyone. And I guess what I would say to somebody who's intrigued, interested, on the fence, or kind of afraid, you can't really lose anything by getting information. And we have a free masterclass. It's about an hour long. And feel free to reach out to Isaiah, reach out to me, whoever you're connected with, and we'd love to share with you the full vision of what we're doing. Kelsey Little, she's doing the presentation on the video, and she's had incredible success. She's made over $600,000 in less than 2 years, and that's her level of momentum. Like, she's killing it. But I just say that, like, real change is possible here at the pace that is right for you. And the Foundry is like nothing else, literally. When you get in the Foundry, which is her community, it's going to activate you. It's going to help you tune into your own story. It's going to help you be you in this space. I even want to highlight her. I want to talk about that because she played such a big role in my alignment. Because, like I said, I wasn't going to sign up with her initially in the beginning until I saw the team split off. I felt God directed me, legacy leaders. There was part of the waiting. There's something being birthed. And I watched her stand up and be a defender like that. Like, hearing her story even do that for her husband. She became a lawyer to defend the child support, or the whole custody thing, and like just seeing who she is and what she's stood up for. I watched her stand up for good values, for what the business is to be, what is healthy, what's not so good. And I watched her just break away and break another thing off and break another thing off, and to step into birthing something that was shaky for her. She started the Foundry herself recently, like May-ish. So in me waiting, I'm watching her take these steps. And like what her community is, it's so freeing. And I've watched her step into her own way of building, and it's just breaking stuff off of everybody else in the community to do it their way, not to duplicate the leader. You know, it's literally like I'm going through detoxing, because I'm that person who's known network marketing for 10 years, studied under so many people. I have all these ideologies of this is the right way. We need to do it this way. And like, just to be transparent, I've had moments with you. I'm like, whoa, I'm operating in control. I am sorry. And then I back up and I'm like, so like being in this space, it's helping me see myself. And I'm like, wow, look at the freedom, like watching the freedom she walks in and just who she is, even in me taking off. She's like, I just want to make sure you're free to do you. Like, I don't ever want to squash your way of doing something. I want you to know that you're the leader of your movement. And so I admire that so much. And that's the beauty of the Foundry, that I don't pose to be no expert, but I'm in a community that is just awakening everything that's really in me. It's giving me the confidence every time I take a step. Like, I'm celebrated. Like, the community literally is just buzzing 24/7. And like, you need support, encouragement, anything, like, it's there. And then she's literally just invested $3,000 into us to have a trainer train us for the next 4. And then she gave us another week. So now it's 5 weeks of training to do sales as us, how to be ourselves in our content and our conversations, like everything.
And no calls.
No sales calls, just DMs in the pockets of your day. Just, it's just so freeing, all of us finding the flow of what our business is like, what mine is, what yours is, the uniqueness of that. So
yeah, you become more like you than ever before. You don't become somebody else's person. You become your own unique and true self with your purpose, your identity. And Kelsey just knows how to pull that out of you by presenting simple questions. It's a very simple framework, but people are getting activated. People are making 4 figures to 5 figures per commission. That's their take home. So when we're surrounded by people who are making, 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, it's like, this is possible. I can do this. I can do this. So it's like, if you would have asked me maybe 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, it would take a lot of work. But now I realize, just like you said, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to show up every day, make a few posts, like with intention, obviously, like use the activation that Kelsey's giving. And it's just, you become more like you than ever before. Financial freedom is on the way. It's already here. Travel freedom. You're going to Kenya as well with your husband in September. I'm super excited for you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, what are your quick thoughts about Kenya? And then we'll end it after that. Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's so surreal that this was God's plan, that I'd start this business. And it's literally enabled me to go and be in another country for a whole month. And I'm not worried about my bills. Am I going to be able to pay the rent when I get back?
Yeah.
Literally, before I started this business, I'm like, okay, God, I know we're going. So where's the money? Literally, that's huge. I'm going to be in a different country for a month. It's going to be incredible. We're going to be doing ministry out there. We have conferences planned, crusades of going around, and I'm just ready to discover what it's going to be. We're also looking at where we're going to move. An incredible couple. Honestly, I'll speak in faith. I know their heart. I have people who are aligning to join in this business in God's timing. And there's another couple that is moving with us. And we're going to Kenya for the next month together. And I'm just really excited for what we're going to discover, what God's showing us about being out there in Kenya and the people we're going to meet. And there's just so much that I feel is being activated in me, that it's a discovery, really. I'm learning to rest in what God's bringing me into. And I'm excited to share that journey with you guys. All throughout that time, I'm going to be probably going live more than I do now. I'm going to be just content crazy. And I feel such a peace. I'll even tell you, I know when I come back, my mailbox is going to be full. I already have a bunch of checks that is just a blessing. I don't say that like boastingly. I just like, that's a peace and that's a rest that God's got me. I'm going to do his work. God provided for me to go do it. I even look at like the alignment of the timing, you popping up to join this business as I did. Mary joined before seeing the masterclass, pretty much. She saw my unboxing and was like, let's go. And I'm excited, honestly, to continue on the interviews. I want y'all to meet Mary soon too, and our newest business partners very soon. But I'm just, it's an honor to see when you rest, when you're obedient, when you continue in the vision, like God brings that clarity that people need in their path, that this is for them and this is their time too. So I love my life, and I'm keep being like I don't know the word I'm saying. God keeps telling me over and over again, like, enjoy your life. You have the freedom. What do you want to do with it?
Wow, that's powerful. I mean, I think that's a mic drop moment. I heard yesterday, it was the day that I sold to Jonas. I just heard when I woke up, every little thing is gonna be all right. It was that song. And then that same day in the afternoon, I had my second sale. So It's incredible. But yeah, I'm just so excited for you going to Kenya, for you to continue on to change people's hearts, to change their lives, to be that voice that activates others, that takes people from dark places. Because a lot of people have mentalities where they just don't think it's possible unless somebody shows them the way. And you and I believe we're both paving the way where we can show that making money is a holy thing. It's a righteous act where you are flowing from abundance. You're flowing from a joy, and joy is the currency of the kingdom. I really believe that. So when we're embodying joy as a Christ, magnificent things, wonderful things will happen. You'll be getting prospects led your way, and you'll be getting prospects not just that need you, but you actually kind of need them. You need to help them. They need you. They need you to help them. But it's so cool just how God will lead people to you, because and when you show up, you have the voice, you have the unique message to share, like we all do. So I'm just so thankful for you, Rachel, that you're showing up, you're putting in the work, you're doing the reps, you're showing up and changing lives. So just to wrap up, I just want to say I bless you and I thank you just so much. I am so honored, so privileged to have interviewed you. We'll do this again when we hit, maybe 15K, 20K a month, 30K. Sure. We're going to keep doing this. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching.
Too. Seriously, thank you for interviewing me. Thank you for featuring my story and for walking this journey with me. Like, I'm just glad that this was God's plan. So, yeah.
All right. Well, bye, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, Rachel.
Bye.
All right.